Seatbelt's fastened. Fuel shutoff valve is on. Cyclic and collector friction is on. Rotor.
Good.
Yeah. Rotor brake is disengaged. Circuit breakers are all in. Car heat is off. Mixture's full rich. Mixture guards installed. Landing lights are off. Non-avionic switch is on. Clutch is disengaged. Altimeter set to revealed elevation. Governor switch is off. You flew it earlier.
Yeah.
So, give it 1.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's going to need 8?
1's fine.
We're all in D10, verify close. Alright, battery and strobe switches are on. Clear!
Clear left.
Hayward Tower, Archer 75278, landing with Quebec.
Number 75278, Hayward Tower, correction, make right traffic, runway 28 right.
Right traffic.
Use caution for 2 obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec. Hayward Tower, information Quebec, 2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 2.14, altimeter 3018. Visual approach and use, landing and departing runways 28. NOTAMs, use caution for 2 obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec. Hayward Tower, information Quebec, 2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 2.14, altimeter 3018. Visual approach and use, landing and departing runways 28. NOTAMs, use caution for 2 obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Alright, gauges are in the green. 11,000,
Hayward Tower,
2,000.
information Quebec, 2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 21, dew point 14,
11,000, 2,000.
visual approaching use, landing and
Watch your door, it's flopping around.
Nodems, use caution
Just
for
close
two
it.
obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec. Hayward Tower, information
rise.
Quebec,
RPM drop.
2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 21, dew point 14, altimeter 3018. Visual approaching use, landing and departing
Alright,
runway
sprite flights,
28. Nodems, use caution for two obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Good split. Good idle.
Hayward Tower, information Quebec, 2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7,
Alright.
visibility 10, sky
15.
clear, temperature 21, dew point 14, altimeter
close. Alright, 21. 20,
landing and departing runway
22.6, 23.5.
Nodems, use caution for two
23.5.
obstruction tower lights out of service and cranes in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Attention all aircraft, hazardous weather information for California
friction's
and
coming
coastal
up.
waters available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Alright, Governor is going on.
Hayward Tower, information Quebec, 2150 Zulu, wind 260 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 21, dew point 14, altimeter 3018. Visual approaching.
Are you still listening to the weather?
Departing runways 28. Nodems, use caution for two obstruction tower lights out.
I don't have to.
So, I would get in the habit of as soon as you're done with that, switch it off. If you want your DPE to be like, dude,
You're like, he's
did you get
annoying.
everything you need? Oh, it's just annoying to listen to for that long.
Okay.
Like, listen to it like twice at the most,
Alright.
and then switch
Well,
it.
once you get it, then just go, okay, switch it.
Exactly.
Alright. Alright. Okay, warning lights out. Out with green. Green the green. Feeling clear feet. So, the rotor warning horn check.
Citation 4, Foxtrot Whiskey, roger, hold for release.
Hold for release, Foxtrot Whiskey.
Alright.
278, traffic 2 mile final for the parallel scene.
Alright, I'm under 15.
Confirm landing clearance, 225 Alpha Sierra.
5 Alpha Sierra, runway 28 left, clear to land.
28 left, clear to land, 225 Alpha Sierra. Tower 278, I have a big flock of birds, it's about 800 crossing the field.
Last call to Hayward Tower, say again.
This 278, I'm just passing a rather large flock of birds, passing the field at about 700.
Central aircraft, use caution for a large flock of birds about 1 mile northeast of the field at approximately 700 feet.
I'm at 22. Alright. Clear left for a right pedal turn. Alright, we have Quebec. Go right crosswind departure.
Sure.
Cessna 40 Papa, extend down on Carter Base, traffic will be holding in position, citation.
Extending downwind to call base range,
Citation 4 Foxtrot Rescue, runway 28 left, Alpha 1, line up and wait, traffic extending left downwind Cessna.
28 left, line up and wait, 114 Foxtrot Whiskey.
Hayward Tower, helicopter 4790 Sierra Hotel at Meridian, requesting a right crosswind departure with Quebec.
5 Alpha
Let's turn into the wind. You notice right now you're sitting with a crosswind, and you're at 23 inches.
Alpha Sierra, turn left on Echo and contact ground point 4.
Echo, ground point 4, 225 Alpha Sierra.
Cessna 40 Papa, base turn approved, continue.
Ready base, 40 Papa.
Arrow 278, turn right on Echo and contact ground. Good day.
Right at Echo, contact ground 278.
Citation 4, Foxtrot Whiskey, new departure frequency 135.65, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
Can you turn up the radio volume a little bit?
135.65, 28 left, clear for takeoff, Foxtrot Whiskey.
Otherwise, I would have sat down to do that.
Cessna 40 Papa, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, clear for the option, 40 Papa, citation.
Helicopter 4790 Hotel, Hayward Tower, stand by for clearance.
Stand by, 479 Hotel.
Helicopter 90 Hotel, it's going to be a couple minutes out of aircraft taxi on Zulu going towards Meridian.
Traffic inside.
Citation 4, Foxtrot Whiskey, contact NorCal 135.65, safe flight.
3565.
Should I do backup?
No, let's just pull up there. Let's go straight ahead. Because I think he's going in right here.
Alright. My power. Which means go slower.
There you go. And then I'd basically just, we could just sit down right here. Just go ahead and set it down. Okay. All right. Well, we got some time to kill. What's your max seat weight for the helicopter for in an R22?
250.
Try again.
240.
Okay.
50 pounds.
50 pounds what?
Baggage.
Baggage.
Included in the 240.
Okay.
Don't put anything sharp under there.
What's your max gross weight of an R22?
1370.
Okay. And what kind of engine do we have in this thing?
It's a 0360.
Oh, 360 what?
Oh. 360, I don't know.
Oh, 360 J2A.
J2.
Okay, how many cylinders?
4 cylinders.
Okay. Is it fuel injected or carbureted?
Carbureted.
Okay. Does it have a fuel pump or is it gravity fed?
Gravity fed.
Okay. What would you do if your clutch light came on? In flight?
Clutch, I wait 10 seconds and pull the circuit breaker.
Okay.
And then if it's accompanied by noise vibration or increased temperature, then I'm going to land immediately. Otherwise,
Helicopter 90 Hotel, use caution for that phenom, pulling into the ramp. Make a right crossing departure below 1,500 until east of 3 crosses. Taxiway Zulu Beam Meridian, clear for takeoff.
Taxiway Zulu Beam Meridian, clear for takeoff. Right crossing departure approved. Remain under 1,500 until east of 3 crosses. 4790 Hotel, thank you.
Cessna 4 Sierra Papa, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, clear for the option.
Clear left for right pedal turn. Watch the power. Clear right for left pedal turn. All right, lights out, top of the green, 3 in the green, fuel, RP. We got to really watch our power here. So just go really slow. Oops, let's not really scrape though. But we really have to watch the power.
Well, you can pull 23.5 for 5 minutes on takeoff, right? That's your climb out power. But you just started a little too low on that one. You know, it's funny because if you actually watch like the helicopter ground school,
Yeah.
On the Hogs, helicopter on the ground,
Yeah.
they actually say it's okay to scrape
Cheers, 104.
on takeoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Runway 28 left at Alpha.
Why? Because you're holding hover power.
Yeah, and you're going from pretty low, so like he actually has a video of them like, yeah, it's okay, you know, you take off, you scrape the skids. I mean, as long as you're straight, you get a little scrape, it's not that big of a deal. We do run on landings anyways. But obviously it's not an ideal situation, but
what?
yeah, try not to scrape.
It's not a failure, but
It's not a failure, but try not to.
But it's not really cool.
Yeah.
Left at Alpha.
And basically come up to, you know, about a 3-foot hover. And the 22, 3-foot hover is good. We started out very low on that one. We were probably about a 1-foot hover.
Oh, all right.
trim there. There you go.
There's 4 Kilo Victor, make a left downwind departure below 1,000 feet to region Highway 92, start from the upwind and leftward pattern. Runway 2 left at Alpha, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 2 left, below 1,000 feet, left downwind departure.
So a couple flights ago when we were coming in, and she was talking about like,
172 Charlie Alpha,
keep your base wide.
over 580, 680, full stop.
What does she mean by that?
172.
So your base, you know, as opposed to like we normally do a pretty close base, like we come in pretty close to it. She's just meaning basically staying
Close to
further
the
away.
approach end?
Yeah, we usually turn base pretty close to the approach end.
Oh, so she's saying like, well,
Just stay wide.
keeping, oh, okay, so you have a little bit more, like a little more of a final.
Right.
Is that the same as saying square up your base?
No, because squaring up your base, you know, if you do kind of one of these big things, that's not really squaring it up. Normally, it's kind of like make it tight.
Okay.
Because some people will kind of just make a very lazy, like almost an arc, as opposed to a turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, okay, so
Because they won't turn very steep.
well,
They'll
by
do
saying keep your base wide, they're also saying kind of extend your final or downwind, sort of like make your final approach.
kind of, but we were coming straight into a base.
Yeah.
So,
So when she just said keep your base wide, was she actually talking about keeping the base leg wide, or no? Keep the base away from the approach end.
I would interpret it as keep it away from the approach end.
Okay, the 90 Hotel, stay on course heading.
Sorry.
We're going to be doing some practicing maneuvers out here in the hills, low altitude. Hotel.
Helicopter 90 Hotel, roger, traffic inbound from Livermore over 580 freeway, assessment descent on 1,800.
Looking for that traffic, 90 Hotel. 40 Papa.
Assessment 40 Papa, runway 2 left, clear for down.
2 is left, clear for the 40 Papa.
Assessment 2, Charlie Alpha, traffic just over Cal State, helicopter 1,400, we'll be doing low level maneuvers in the hills.
Start heading that way.
And roger that, Charlie Alpha.
There's 4 Kilo Victor, contact NorCal Safe Flight.
Switching to NorCal, good day, 4 Kilo Victor.
You should be kind of crossing around the same area.
You should be right in here, but I don't see him. That's what I'm saying, like just take the front range and go around that way. This way we're kind of expediting.
Charlie Alpha, if we go direct to numbers from here, will we avoid the helicopter?
Assessment 2, Charlie Alpha, traffic 12 o'clock, mile and a half, helicopter 1,400, appears to be heading easterly bound.
We just picked him up, we'll maintain visual, 2 Charlie Alpha.
He's just north of Cal State.
Yep, we got, say that again, 2 Charlie Alpha?
He's just north of Cal State.
Yeah, we got him inside, 2 Charlie Alpha.
2 Charlie Alpha, Rogers.
Oh, got him inside. Traffic inside, 4700 Sierra Hotel.
Thank you.
Right behind you,
There
up
they
here.
are. I got them. I'm like, where do you see them? There you go. You can go ahead and start heading back this way. I just wanted to kind of expedite getting out of their way.
Yeah.
Two Charlie Alpha, approaching Cal State.
So the 2 Charlie Alpha, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Clear land, 2 right, 2 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
Helicopter 9 Sierra Hotel, free change approved, safe flight.
Freeze change approved, 4700 Sierra Hotel, thank you.
Okay. Find a place to land. See that puddle straight ahead?
Yeah.
Put me down that puddle.
All right.
Or next to the puddle.
All right, so I'm about 500 now. Okay, so the wind's 2.6, but 55.
Cessna 40 Papa, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, left with option 40 Papa.
Okay, I have 17, 23. All right, so I have 6 inches.
Watch your airspeed.
All right, obstacles, rocks, trees, no people, no cars, no wires, no fence. Path is difficult, although I guess I have some space down there. Path in. I think I'm gonna
Figure out where your wind's coming
Cessna
from.
Charlie Alpha, turn around and echo and contact ground.
Flight on
Wow.
Echo, contact ground, 152 Charlie Alpha.
It's coming from the west.
It's coming from the west. You're showing 65 indicated, and you're going 67. West is that way.
Well,
If your ground speed is greater than your indicated, what does that mean?
no, that's coming from behind.
There you go.
All right, let's see though. So let's see.
See, yeah, this is where it's important that you're holding a consistent airspeed.
Jet Lease 5, Hayward Tower, you on freak?
Sorry, if that was for Jet Link 5, yeah, I had the wrong freak there. Sorry, we're up.
Jet Lease 5, no worries. Just hold for release. Making sure you're on frequency. We're coordinating for your release right now.
Thank you. We're holding short.
All right. 62.
Jet Lease 5, runway 28 left, Zulu 1, clear for takeoff.
28 left, clear for takeoff, Jet Link 5.
Cessna 40 Papa, when able to report the departing Gulfstream in sight.
Gulfstream inside. It doesn't look like good
60. 65.
40 Papa, caution wake turbines departing Gulfstream, maintain visual separation. Runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, left with option 7840 Papa Gulfstream inside and to extend out a bit.
All right. I'm gonna come in this way then.
Okay, so what's your path in, path out?
No, my
You have a person down there, by the way.
okay. So my path in's gonna be along this bridge then. And I guess my path out is not good. I don't have a good path out. But I have to go down through over the ridge.
You
I
can
guess.
follow the ridge.
Yeah. All right, suitability is good. All right, lights out top of the green. Car Pete.
Jet Lease 5, contact NorCal, depart to safe flight.
All right, over NorCal, Jet Link 5, good day.
So we're going to do a low approach on this. Okay, we're not going to stop and hover. We're just going to do a low approach, okay?
Okay.
So just approach it like you're going to.
Oh, well, meaning don't stop?
Correct.
All right. Come over this way a little bit.
Some balloons. So now we're confirming everything we thought we saw, right?
Right.
This is where you're saying, oh, you know what? These bushes are a little bit taller than I thought they were.
Hayward Tower, King Air 31, Charlie Golf, ready runway 28 left, request a left overhead 270 at or below 1,000 departure.
King Air 31, Charlie Golf, Hayward Tower, hold short, runway 28 left for traffic.
Short 28 left, 31 Charlie Golf.
And so you'd want to make sure you're landing in there, right?
On that side?
Where it's flat.
Should I be going down the valley instead of over this way? Or this way is okay?
You're clear. That's good. There's a house hidden in the trees there.
All right, I'm not going to go over the house.
Okay, so that wasn't too bad. We need to learn how to pick up the winds faster.
Yeah. I'm not getting that.
So it's basically be looking at this on your first.
31 Charlie Golf, making left 270 departure. At or below 1,000 feet until reaching midfield overhead, runway 28
On your first revolution, or your first
Circle.
Circle, yeah. Oh. So from the area that we're coming from, first off is always look for your wind indicators. Okay, watch these birds. Yeah, always be looking for your wind indicators on the way out there. And we can kind of see, like these birds right now, they're all kind of facing into the wind, actually. Yeah, kind of facing in, so they're kind of going.
I'm going 50 and then the ground speed's 50.
So that means there's nothing.
So there's not much right now.
Yeah.
At least in this direction.
But also the wind over here, it changes.
Oh.
So the wind, as we get closer over here, starts to come from the north. And versus the wind coming from the west on the other side. Okay, so you gotta kind of pay attention to that. Local knowledge.
All right, so that's not gonna fly if I just say, oh, the wind's from the west, because when I took off from the airport, it was from the west.
Right.
He's not gonna say that. That's not gonna fly.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to know where your winds are coming from, and especially like you might end up on one of those days where the wind's coming from the east. You know. So look for your wind indicators. Water is a great wind indicator. Like I said, you could use the cows. If they're standing up where it's windy, you know, they're going to show. We got people down there. There's a sheep or something down there.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of cows down there. They're all facing all directions.
Oh, what do you mean? They usually face into the wind?
So they'll turn away from the wind if it's windy. So let's go over here to this ridge over here. The thing is, it's not that windy. So they're not really going to be doing it right now. But on days where it is real windy, you'll see the cows, if they're standing up on the ridge line. Which here, the thing is, like, they're not going to sit they're not stupid. They're not going to sit there and be exposed to the wind and just be like, I'm just going to sit right here. Usually you're going to see the cows, they're going to duck behind something where there's no wind.
Oh, okay.
You know? But if there's some place where they're exposed, like if they're down in the valley down there, then you're going to be able to see, like, oh yeah, all those cows are pretty much all facing the same direction. And that's how you know they'll put their butts into the wind.
Oh, okay.
And you can look for birds, you know, all different kind of stuff like that. But yeah, look for flags, look for water. And then when we're up here, when we're using this, you can look for manifold pressure, and you can look at your ground speed versus your indicated speed. So right now, our ground speed is looking a little bit less than this. By about 1 knot, right? 1 or 2 knots. So no big deal over here. But if you couldn't find any indicators, basically come into your spot and take a look at this first. Compare, right? Because if your ground speed is greater than your indicated, you have a tailwind.
Right.
If your ground speed is less than your indicated, you have a headwind, right?
That water's not telling me anything, right?
There's a little bit of there's texture on it.
Yeah, okay.
But not much.
But can you tell what direction it was from that?
I'd have to circle it to look.
Let's circle it.
so make a turn. So with the way the light is right now, it's hard to tell on this piece of water.
Okay.
Like you can see ripples on the other side when you get it in the glare, but it's only because you have the glare. But again, it's also kind of down in the hole, so it might be protected.
Okay, so there's not much wind indication from that.
Yeah, that one's kind of tough.
All right, so that's not too useful.
Right there, I can see some shimmer. So I would say that the far side, where that steep lip, so I'd say the wind's coming from our right side right now.
Oh, okay.
Based on that.
Right.
That's because the calm side was that further side.
Oh, okay.
And these cows are laying down this way, and they're facing that way, so...
That one looks pretty calm, too.
Yeah. Let's get a little more altitude off the ground here. A little close.
Cessna 40 Papa, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, left, left,
54. So I have a little bit of a tailwind right now.
Okay. So let's head over that way. So when we're cruising along, what's our cruise speed?
It's supposed to be 60 to...
It should be about 70 knots.
Oh, okay.
When we're doing our circle, you can do 50 to 60 knots.
All right.
Okay, so you got to be careful about that. You like to go slow, and especially when you're this low to the ground.
Yeah.
You don't want to be going too slow.
Oh, because it takes some altitude to gain speed.
Yep. Let's head down that way. Not too hard. Just right there. Engine out, engine out, engine out. Where are we going?
Going nowhere that way.
Think we're gonna make it over there?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, recover. Nice, dude. Oh, the deer.
Oh, cool.
I was pointing to the deer. Don't fly to the deer. I didn't know if you were going to make that. Good job.
I had to do a little S-turn because I think I was a little high.
All right, let's climb back up and then set up for that again.
All right.
Did you look to your left, by the way, and see all the stuff you had to your left when you made that decision?
I didn't see a lot to my left, so let's go back over there and look at that.
It seemed like a knee-jerk reaction to pull to the right, which, I mean, you would have made that just fine. You would have wanted to make sure that you were going to land on the flat part of that. We looked like we were aiming kind of for the slope.
Let's look at that again.
Because had you gone left, you had almost probably, gosh, 1,500 feet to make a decision.
Yeah, okay, because I had more altitude.
Yeah. So I'm not saying what you picked was wrong, by any means. And again,
Well, I may not be seeing all the options. I mean, that, like the baseball field last time. I didn't see the baseball.
Watch your trim. Let's make this a little tighter here. But did you see what I meant about the flat part of that hill that we were aiming at, that we would have landed on? Because there was a slope and there was a flat part.
Oh, I mean, like I was kind of short?
No. You were aiming, like what was right in front of us was a slope.
Was the flat part to the left?
To the left, yeah. Over where that trough was.
Okay. I think I was just looking for the center of the thing. I wasn't looking so much for the flat. All right, so let's see, where were we? We were coming over, I guess we were going a little further.
We were on this
okay.
ridge.
All right,
here.
so we were on this ridge.
Yeah, so see the trough down there?
Yeah.
That's the flat part. And you were aiming,
I see, yeah.
you're kind of aiming for the trail.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, watch where you're going here.
All right, so let's see what was to the left. So I was coming over.
We were kind of over the ridge right here, yeah. We were nice and high.
Oh, you mean all that down there?
All down there, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't looking that far.
So we had good altitude, and I think I cut you right here. We're a little further forward, right? But yeah, right around here. And so it's like there's all those valleys. We could have made it all the way down there.
All right, let's go.
That dirt.
Ready?
Yep.
Engine out.
Try 90 and 90. 90%, 90 knots.
Oh.
So lower your RPMs.
Lower my RPM.
So lower your RPMs. 90 knots. Go 90 knots. 90 knots.
No, 70.
Nope.
75.
It's
75 on R22.
Your max glide is 90 and 90, but there you go. And now you don't need that max glide anymore. Whoa, watch that. See, you could have made it all the way down.
Yeah. Maybe even, I would have been long actually. Okay. That was good. Well, I think we should do that too. I think we should just like see how it goes. Cause I mean, I need the experience of, okay, well, how far can I make it?
Yeah.
So that was good.
When you have that much altitude, yeah.
That's hard for me to judge. Like, okay, well, first of all, it's hard for me to judge like what altitude am I at, and then how far can I go. But that's still, I don't gotta get in trim here.
Yeah, our max glide distance is 90 knots and 90%.
That's R44.
Okay, I'm positive.
No,
Give me the manual. I got flight controls.
yeah, control.
I got them. Look it up. You got flight controls?
I have control.
There you go.
It's 75 knots and 90%. It's 90 on R44. And on R44, it's 90 knots. 90. It's 90 and 90 for R44. R22 is 75 knots.
All right, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
So this would be good. These would be good field. Oh, there.
All right, I owe you a gummy bear. I got flight control.
Oh, you have control.
I got 'em. I owe you a Sour Patch Kid.
No, that's okay. I don't need that. All right.
You got flight
That
control.
makes up for the J2A.
Fair.
We're even.
Okay, fair. I stand corrected.
All right, so
Let's go over here. Check out there.
I mean, I was thinking, that's really fast. I mean, in R44, 90 knots, that's really fast to have to get to 90 knots to be able to do max glide.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
But
I'm like, there was a thought there for a second. I'm like, why am I arguing with him? I know he knows this book really well.
no, I don't. Well, no, I don't know everything. I didn't know the J2A. 131 horsepower max, 124 derated. So 5-minute max is 131.
Let's go this way, under these hills.
And trim. All right, so let's see, 75, 79. So I have a tailwind, so the wind's behind me.
And Hayward Tower, looking 407 Alpha Papa.
Keep in mind you have that water over there now too, right? So we can go this way a little bit. Let's do a pinnacle over here.
All right. 5354 just out of Oakland. Like to land on that northeast side of the ramp there.
Oh, got the 407 Alpha Papa Hayward Tower ladder. Continue inbound and cross overhead midfield and make right traffic for taxiway Alpha at Echo.
All kinds of good stuff over here.
Cross midfield and make right traffic. 407 Alpha Papa.
Yeah, so just to kind of reiterate again, like that's why altitude is your friend when you're going, especially when you're going over junk terrain like this, where it's like there's not a lot of good spots to land. Everything's real hilly.
Yeah.
You know, here there's a lot of open spots, but back there, there's a lot of trees. So it's like the higher altitude you have above it,
the more choices you have.
Exactly. Like, why are you going to corner yourself if you don't have to?
Alpha 7 Alpha Papa approves the request to taxiway Alpha at Echo, clear to land.
Clear to land, Papa, under risk, Alpha Echo 7 Alpha Papa, thank you.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let's see if you can put me down on the top of that peak.
One like this way?
Yeah, the big one right in front of us.
This one right here?
The tallest point, yep.
Alright. Alright, so 75, 70. So 75, 70. So that means that I'm sort of into the wind.
Most likely. And you'll just confirm it as you go do your orbit.
All right.
So now you're showing 66, and you're going 75. So
I'm like in the wind.
Pretty into the wind here.
Oh, the house down there.
Yeah, so put me down right there.
All right, so trees. No people.
Good afternoon, Hayward Tower, experimental 224 Bravo Lima, 6 miles southwest of the field, 750 feet, inbound for pattern work with Romeo.
4 Bravo Lima, Hayward Tower, and our left base for runway 28 left.
I'm going this way.
All right, we'll report passing the toll plaza and
Ground speed should increase, which it is.
4 Bravo Lima.
All right, so I'm downwind.
Okay.
All right, so obstruction.
Hayward Tower,
Hey, how's your altitude looking?
left,
I would say I'm kind of low.
kind of low, low.
Would you say I'm kind of low?
I'd say so.
All right.
Watch your trim.
I would say I was kind of low.
Like, I can't see the top of it anymore.
1821 Hayward Tower, make left traffic, runway 28 left, clear to take off.
Clear to take off, good, left 1981, left.
Keep in mind you're at 2,000 feet. What's your max power at 2,000 feet?
Max power at 2,000 feet.
Yep, you're still at 20 degrees, but your max power changed. 21.9. I'm sorry, 22.2.
22.2?
Yep.
23.1?
Yep. Okay, so we've now done 2 high reconnaissance. Have you gone through your whole checklist yet?
Well, I path in, I'm coming up that way. Path out is just going to be over the same path out. And check the power. Downwind.
Tower 224 Bravo Lima, passing Adim, the toll plaza.
Experimental 2 Bravo Lima, thank you, runway 28 left, clear for the option, and make left close traffic.
Clear for the option, 28 left, then left close traffic for Bravo Lima.
So the 18, 22, so that's kind of marginal. So that's 23. I have 5 inches.
Okay.
When able, report to
I may not be able to do an out of ground effect cover.
Extending crossing for traffic on the toll plaza 821. Adam for sight, 821.
Alright, so that's power, path in, path out.
Thank you. Follow that traffic. Number 2, runway 28.
Suitability, I would say it's not great. Because if I have to...
Are you going to do another orbit, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing another orbit because I'm way high.
Okay, that's 3 orbits.
Okay.
Hayward traffic, Skyhawk 733 Zulu, Kilo. Flying in over Dublin, to land.
733 Zulu Kilo, Hayward Tower, verify Beta's formation Romeo, and a right base, runway 3 right, and report Cal State.
I do have information Romeo, 28 right. We'll be reporting over Cal State, 3 Zulu Kilo.
And what kind of approach are we going to make?
Well, I don't know why I can't do a normal approach, but...
Well, you're going for a pinnacle.
Oh, so I always have to do a steep?
Yep.
For a pinnacle? Alright. And we're going to do a steep.
So this is a true pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
So what do you have to be careful with?
Turbulence.
Downdrafts.
Downdrafts. Alright then, let's see how this goes.
Watch your trim.
Red lights on top of the green, 3 in the green, fuel, car peak.
Hayward Tower, Cessna 254 Echo Kilo, 2 miles south to correlate Romeo.
Stay over your ridgeline.
Cessna 225, correction, standby.
Stay in trim.
Cessna 254 Echo Kilo, Hayward Tower, make straight in for runway 28 right.
Straight in, runway 28.
Watch your airspeed. Don't get too slow here. Okay, does look a little normal for that spot right there.
Is it looking normal?
Yep, you want to be steep in here, okay? Do not slow down here, okay? Got to keep pushing forward. Because look at how low we are. This is a normal approach right now. If we had a downdraft, it's slamming us into the side of that hill.
Oh, so you just, like, don't make it steep until you're like really over the spot?
Yep. That's where our winds are coming from, right here. So we're not going to touch down. There we go. So now we kind of sidestep. Now we're good. All right, you got flight controls?
I have controls.
You got them. All right, so now we're going to take off. What kind of takeoff we're going to do? Stay over your spot. What kind of takeoff we're going to do?
I guess I'm going to do max performance.
Nope. We're on a pinnacle.
Oh, so
You're basically just push it. Go.
speed over.
Go.
Speed over altitude.
Go.
All right, extending downwind, you'll call
There we go.
for Bravo Lima.
Okay, speed over altitude.
This is why I love pinnacles.
What do you call that?
That's airspeed over altitude.
What,
So it's
what
just
kind of a takeoff you
just
go?
normal takeoff.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, what would you need to do a max performance for? There's nothing to get away from.
No.
If we land down there, you're going to need a max performance takeoff. So anytime you're in a confined area, it's a max performance.
Alright.
Okay?
But pinnacle is going to be just normal.
Yeah. So, I got flight controls.
Okay, you have control.
I got them.
So,
Bunch of deer down there.
well,
a lot of deer out there.
did you want me to come in steep all the way or normal
Oh,
and
you're
then
gonna
make it steep?
You're gonna go well on a pinnacle like that because again, that's a true pinnacle,
Yeah.
right? That's not a little. It's a knoll on top of the thing, right?
Yeah.
No, that's a real pinnacle. So that's gonna have downdrafts. It's gonna have everything that we've been taught about, right?
Oh.
So our winds, once we got up there, the wind is actually coming from the left. It was coming off that ridge because you felt that we got a little bit of LTE there, right?
Oh.
So the way that I would actually come up this one, because of that, now knowing that,
This way.
yeah, I'd come up this way. But the other way that you could do it as well, with the direction that you were coming from, was that you could just go sideways onto it.
Yeah.
But we want to come in, because right here, there is a downdraft coming off that side there.
Okay.
Okay? There
All right.
has to be a downdraft. So we want to make sure that we are avoiding that downdraft, and we're going to go in because it goes up, and then it goes a headwind, and then it goes down.
Yeah, you're pretty steep.
Cessna 4 Echo Kilo, traffic in the south pattern is 3 aircraft for the parallel runway. Number 1 runway.
So the idea here is you got to maintain your ETL.
Yep.
Right close traffic.
2A right, care for the option, make right close traffic, 4 Echo Kilo.
Okay, because I have to give myself the ability to bail out if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So where you were and the way that you did it, you did give yourself a bailout.
Okay.
Okay.
Like if I didn't have enough power, then we're sort of done.
Exactly. Okay, so you got flight controls.
All right, I have controls.
All right, I'm going to let you do this takeoff since I took the fun away the last one.
Final. Runway clear left, clear touch and go. Traffic on a 1.5 miles.
There you go.
Parallel runway stuff.
Yeah, for the touch and go on 28 left, number 281.
Good.
Okay, so that was pretty steep.
That was
I
pretty
mean,
steep.
that's not a 15-degree steep. That's steep. It's steep.
It's steep. But it was safe. We were riding the edge of ETL.
Yeah.
You know, we had a good descent rate. Everything was safe about it. Because the other thing is we had a headwind. We know that we have a headwind, right? You just do not want to get caught in the downdraft. Had I taken the same approach angle that you took, I probably would have gotten pushed into the hill.
Okay.
Now, what about, why don't you put me right there on that hill, on the little curve.
All right. 70, 64, so I was still into the wind.
3 Zulu Kilo, number 2, following Cessna, short final, runway 28 right, clear to land. Traffic on left base of the parallel runway stuff.
Okay,
Negative traffic.
60, 74, okay, I definitely got tailwind here. All right, obstacles.
Cessna 3 Zulu Kilo, okay, you see you have negative traffic, what would you like me to do?
Just the rocks there. Not too much in the way of obstacles, we're good, no people.
Yep, short final for 2A right.
All right, so path in, and then I just,
right, clear to land.
I'm in up this way.
Clear land, 2A right.
And then the path out will be probably down to the left there. Okay.
What did we just feel?
All right, so it's still...
What did we just feel?
Updraft or downdraft?
That was an updraft.
Updraft. That means that there's going to be a downdraft. Okay, so same situation, it's a pinnacle. So we got to come in.
Hayward Tower, 3 Zulu Kilo.
It's kind of a confined pinnacle.
Oh, it's a confined pinnacle.
It kind of is. Watch that airspeed.
Right 360, runway 28 right to the land.
Right 360, 2A right, clear to land, 3 Zulu Kilo.
Cessna 4 Echo Kilo, extend your crosswind.
Say again.
Cessna 4 Echo Kilo, extend your crosswind.
Okay, so start slowing it way down. This is actually maybe a little too steep here.
Hayward Tower, 757.
Yeah, this is too steep.
Over Cessna 1, 3000.
Set up again.
One more thing.
Edge. Go in.
Clear from Hayward Tower, call back in 5 minutes. Remain clear west out there, space. Terminal 4 Bravo Lima, continue downwind. I will call you base turn. Traffic will be holding in position.
And think about also what's behind us, right? So there's going to be an updraft there, but this is not a true pinnacle like that is.
Oh,
right?
Maybe because of this? Or
No, because the land behind it is flat. It's the same level. So the downdraft would be over here where we are now.
Oh.
Right? Or it would be over by those trees in that little canyon right here.
Number 1, runway 28 right, runway 28 right, clear to land.
There you go. Start descending.
Cessna 4 Echo Kilo, number 2, following Cessna. Turn in short final, runway.
So it's right over here. Like right in this area that we're about to go through right now would be the downdraft area, right?
All right.
Cessna 81, extend your downwind.
There you go. Start descending forward.
And extend the left downwind.
Extending downwind, 821.
Tower, stand by.
Okay. There you go. So we're past the dangerous part. And you want to find the flat land here, right?
Turning left base now, continuing for 28.
Flat land's right there. Okay. Cool. So, get over the level land here. Always get over the level land. There you go, right there. Okay, so I want you to do a max performance takeoff. I know we have all this really nice, but I want you to do a max performance takeoff. Get over that tree.
All right.
So get yourself ready. So as low to the ground as you can, without touching it.
Number 2 for trip left.
Okay, and lower your car beat.
Okay, you got it control.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I want you to just get us over that tree.
Okay, so I'm at 23, I'm at 1,000, so 20, can I have the 23.5?
Yeah, you can have that. That's fine. At 1,000. Yeah.
All right.
So get down as close to the ground as you can.
Hayward Tower.
There you go. All right.
1216 Mike at Mission Peak with Romeo inbound.
Push to 40 knot altitude. There you go. You're clear. And now take off. Normal takeoff. There you go. Good. Whee!
74 straight in for 28 left if possible.
Good.
Straight in for 28 right.
All right. Let's go and start heading back.
All right.
Hayward Tower, decon 449, with you, information
4970 out here, Tower, make brake traffic, runway 28 right.
Right traffic is good, right?
74.
So you got all this stuff to tell you where your wind's coming from, right?
1,800, full stop for Romeo.
This is coming from that way then, right?
Engine out, engine out, engine out.
We'll call back.
You're going to get us on a flat land here?
Well, when I turn here.
Okay, recover. So that wasn't into the wind, where you're finishing there. I would have gone for that little strip of land over there.
Oh. Oh, like over here.
Well, because you were into the wind that way. And you had the altitude, you had plenty of space to make it right there.
Oh, to make it this one.
Yep. See, the issue was that you were pointing us to those hills all of a sudden, so, like... All right.
Well, no, I was headed that way, but that was not a good choice anyway.
Yeah, I was going to the wind. Yeah, man, there's a lot of deer out here today. Okay, let's go home. I'm not going to do any more, dude. I might do a low rotor RPM, but...
All right.
Let's go it that way. Slow it down a little bit. Let's get a better climb though.
Roger, the traffic you're following to 12 o'clock, a mile and a half, currently going 100 now.
The deer are all looking up.
Wait, what the hell?
Tower 4 Bravo Lima.
Remember, when you have to turn, enter your auto rotation, establish your glide first, and then turn.
Oh, okay.
Bravo Lima, you want to go northbound now?
That's why when we ended up, it was like you cranked a big turn, which is why you had a big old charge.
Yeah, I had to like pull.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it established.
Exactly. So establish first and then turn.
Hayward Tower,
Well, meaning try to get established like as soon as you can.
Well, yeah,
If you have to turn.
but establish, then turn. And you did it, you entered, but you entered and turned at the same time. So it's just like,
Right.
get your glide first.
You have a Cessna in sight, you're following...
That half a second is going to be okay. You're better off, get that good glide.
Cessna 16 might be transferred.
Okay, so we've got all these different water things in front of us to see where the wind is coming from, right? That one obviously is a really good one, but we can look over here too. We can start to see the ripples on the water and start to see, what side is flat and which side is rippled.
Is the flat side the downwind side or the upwind side?
That is the upwind side.
2 miles
Oh.
inbound for Hayward.
So like you can look at this right here.
This way.
It's going
Coming
that.
this
It's
way.
blowing. Yeah, it's blowing that way. It's blowing from the northeast right now.
Yeah, okay.
Look at the smoke.
Yeah, okay.
11 o'clock.
It's actually more north, I guess. The smoke is fantastic. Whenever you can see smoke.
Northeast.
Section 025, left turn at Charlie, contact ground point 4.
Yeah, it's actually kind of more north. You can see the water, the calm part of the water.
Yeah.
Section 821 affirmative, runway 28 left, clear to land.
You land to it left, 821. Traffic in sight, 4 Bravo Lima.
710 4 Bravo Lima, roger behind that Cessna, you could start your northbound turn.
We'll turn behind it, 4 Bravo Lima.
Cessna 4 with Kilo, contact ground point 4.
Contact ground point.
Hayward Tower, information Romeo, time 2250 Zulu, wind 280 at 7, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 22, dew point 14, altimeter 3017, visual approach runway 28 left in use, landing and departing runway 28. On initial contact, roger, information Romeo. Everyone to 4 Bravo Lima, quick change approved.
Change frequency, have a good day, 4 Bravo Lima.
Please 907 Sierra, right turn at Echo, contact ground point 4. Cessna 7 Juliet Delta, say your intentions.
What does that mean? Set yes.
Omni bearing selector.
The mid
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, watch your airspeed.
All right, Cessna 4.
So this is your setting your radial.
Thanks for your patience, runway 2.
So if you want to pick it up on a 30 radial,
Well, 28, should I do?
Okay, let's pick it up on
10, 100?
yeah.
Okay,
So let's
so
pick
do I say 100 or 1? What do I say?
10.
10.
Yep. So let's say we want the 28 radial. So that would be
You mean the 28 course?
the 280 radial.
280 radial will be a 110 course.
Correct.
Left turn.
You're now number 1 for runway 2 left, runway 2
Watch
left.
that airspeed.
So I go that, and then I go. What do I do?
Enter.
Oh, enter over here.
Watch that airspeed.
Number 1 to the right, clear to land.
Okay, so you got to go and intercept that course.
10. So
Hayward Tower, Cessna 1.
Actually, it has you backwards.
Holding for 28 right.
Yeah. No. Actually, let's see. Keep going.
Cessna 1 Charlie, Hayward Tower, stand by.
Keep going to intercept. The other way.
Hayward Tower, Skyhawk 66025 holding short, 28 left at Zulu.
There you go. Don't go too far toward it.
025, stand by.
Otherwise, you're going to go through it. All right.
what do you mean? Oh,
You don't want to go through the course.
Oh.
You want to intercept the course. There you go. Keep your airspeed up. 70 knots. You got to make sure that you're keeping your turns are level and airspeed is consistent. There you go.
Runway 2 left,
28 left, clear to land, 165, copy.
Watch your altitude.
Hayward Tower, Cessna 254 Echo Kilo, holding 28 right at.
wait, why do I want to be on a 110 course?
Downwind departure to Palo Alto.
It's the 10 radial.
Okay, but I said 100. So I said 100 for the course. But that'll be the 280 radial.
Cessna 328,
Yes, you're on the 280 radial.
inbound for full stop.
Does that make sense?
Romeo.
Does doesn't make sense.
It would be
Right base, runway 28 right.
280 is that way, so that would, wouldn't the course
no.
be
We're on.
28?
I'm sorry. We're on the 10 radial.
Wouldn't the course
Yeah,
be
it's a 28. Yeah, the course. No.
Yeah,
Course is 28.
because my track is 280 now.
Yeah, but your radial is the 10 radial. Sorry.
I know, but then why would it say course?
8 Tango Alpha.
Oh,
That's 8 Takeoff. You had
so I have the.
right base, runway 28
No, you're good. You're going the right direction.
Right base.
I know I'm going the right direction, but
Here's how we can tell.
shouldn't I?
Here's how we can tell. Hang on.
Shouldn't I be on the 280 course and the 18110 radial?
Yes.
Right?
You confused me. Yes. Yes, you're correct.
Verify the first aircraft holds for runway.
All right, so-
Cessna 172, correct, holds for 28 right, Cessna 172.
So the 280. So it's the 10 radial. My bad.
Affirmative.
Sorry.
Holding short to a right, Bravo, request right close to departure.
Cessna 160.
But I'm not really lined up with the runway.
28 right at
That's okay because it's not taking you to the runway. It's taking you to the middle of the airport.
Oh. Okay. Which way is 28?
And also keep in mind that actually it's like 283, I think, or 282.
Clear for takeoff, 28 right, 172 Charlie Alpha.
So if you did this,
So I'm 6 miles. 6 miles to the southeast. With,
there you go. Go to 283.
Change approved, 498.
Intercept that.
Cessna 025, continue holding, I get you going shortly.
Watch your airspeed. Don't go slow, okay? You gotta really watch this because you like to go slow. Your course is to your left. That's why we were getting reverse sensing. That makes sense. Sorry.
because what?
I had a brain fart. I apologize. That's why these should match up. This is to your left. This is to your left. When we set the 10, it's sorry, I got confused for a minute there.
Information Romeo. That's downward departure approved. Maintain at below 1,000 feet until crossing Highway 92, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 28 right, clear for takeoff, left downwind departure, maintain below 1,000 until Highway 92, 4 Echo Kilo.
That's an 8 Tango off your number 1 for runway 28 right, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Runway 28 right, number 1, clear for land. 812.
Hayward Tower, helicopter 4790, hotel 5 miles to the northeast at 1,500, inbound for Meridian with Romeo.
Helicopter 479 Hotel, Hayward Tower, correction, Hayward Tower, make straight in for taxiway Zulu.
Straight in for taxiway Zulu, 4790 hotel, thank you.
025, make left post traffic, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
28 left, clear for takeoff, left coast traffic 025.
What's happening? So I'm supposed to turn to the arrow?
Yep. So our course is to the right of us now.
What does that mean? It's that way?
Yep.
Oh.
Just a little bit. So you got the arrow, you got that purple,
Yeah.
and you got this line. Okay, so we want to intercept that on the solid line. We're the solid line, and we're this.
Well, okay, but I'm turning away from that now because I'm trying to line up with the
Yeah, but you're lined up now. You go straight.
lights on top of the green, drain the green fuel, car main.
There you go. So these runways, when you put in the 280 and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
the runways are not actually 280.
Oh, it's the closest.
Yes,
like
exactly.
they rounded.
Exactly.
That's an 812, make left post.
And when you look at the instrument approach plates,
Yeah.
that's when you'll get the actual.
Oh.
Like I said, it's 282 or 283. These ones. I think probably 282 actually.
That's an 4 Echo Lima, frequency change approved.
We are 4 Echo Kilo, frequency change approved.
Sorry for getting confused there for a minute.
That's all right.
Hayward Tower, good afternoon. Bonanza 488 Hotel Pop, approaching Dublin, inbound for touch and goes with Romeo.
Bonanza 488 Hotel Papa Hayward Tower, continue southbound and enter a 4-mile final for runway 28 left.
Wilco, southbound 4 mile, final for 28, left 8 hotel Botched.
Cessna 025, extend your downwind. Traffic at your 11 o'clock, a mile and a half. Inbound for the south taxiway is a helicopter at 900. Advise you have the helicopter in sight.
Good. Don't forget to go aft on the cycler. Oh. Next down, aft, roll on.
Down, aft, roll on. Okay. In that order?
Yep.
Helicopter on the show. Traffic ahead to your left.
Down,
1 mile
roll
eastbound to Cessna Gate 600.
See him?
No. Oh, over there?
Yep.
Traffic inside 47 Show Hotel.
Helicopter on show. Roger, taxiway Zulu beam ready, clear to land.
Taxiway Zulu beam ready and clear to land. Thank you.
90. You want to do an auto rotation in? A straight in?
Sure.
Okay. Keep your altitude. Alright, your target is to land abeam the, that tower. Okay?
Alright. Where's the tower?
It's that
red light.
It's that tower that the Falcon or the Hawk is always sitting on top of. The one right in the middle of the field. Next to Meridian. You know which tower. We look at the tower all the time.
Traffic ahead to your left.
I know, but I can't really see the tower.
Can you see it now?
There's a helicopter descending out of
Just past the lights in the center of the grass.
Oh, okay. It's like a beam meridian.
Yeah.
Alright. Contact ground point 4. Cessna 81, Roger. Your number 2 following Cessna turning a mile and a half.
Alright, our rotation. Maybe. And 3, 2, 1. And I think I still entered too early.
Launch your charge.